All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening and welcome, everyone. Roll call, please, Bree.
Mayor King,
Present.
Councilmember at Large Austin,
Present.
Councilmember Waller,
Present.
Councilmember Baskin,
Present.
Councilmember Postma, Councilmember Helly,
Present.
Councilmember Obala, Councilmember Fisher.
Present.
Mayor King, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Looking for item number 1, motion for adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 is a motion approving our minutes from March 2, 2026.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Also, on March 2nd, we did a closed meeting, and I need to read this statement from our scribe. The City Council held a closed meeting on March 2, 2026 for the purpose of evaluating the performance of City Administrator Craig Clark. All members of the council were present. Craig Clark was not present. The City Attorney Craig Byram was present. The council discussed both the strengths and accomplishments of Mr. Clark and opportunities for growth or improvement. No action by the council is expected at this time.
Mayor, we pulled items.
Oh, that's right. On the agenda too, we're pulling off 13, item 13 and 16. So with that, looking for maybe a readoption of the agenda with those.
So I move to adopt the agenda with item 13 and 16 removed.
Thank you. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Item number 3 is a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to item number 4, a series of street improvements for public hearings. Item number 4 is a public hearing on street improvements on 8th Street Southeast, 8th Avenue Southeast to 15th Ave Southeast. The project number is 25104. The amount to be assessed is $1,275,000 at 5.357% for 15 years. Stephen?
First, I'd just like to give you some general information about how we got here today. Going back to an informational meeting that we had on March 11th with all these property owners, as noted in your memo, we sent out 141 notices of street assessments. And since then, at that informational meeting, we had about 5 properties represented at the informational meeting. That was followed up by our hearing on improvements that we had here at a council meeting on February 17th. And again, we had about 5 property owners represented at that meeting. Now, as we move tonight to the assessment hearings, in the last couple weeks, as the mailers and all the information has been sent out, Andy has fielded 5 or so questions about assessments, just general questions about the costs, how we determine them, assessment options, all of those things. And then in the backup material that we gave you, we also sent out information to all the property owners, which is our frequently asked questions. So that steps them through a lot of different questions that we've gotten over the years. We tried to summarize those into kind of a one-pager, 2-sided one-pager of frequently asked questions to try to help with those things. And then also a key part of tonight's meeting and discussion is our assessment payment options. So I just want to run through those quickly for the public. Folks will receive their final assessment amount in the fall, and at that time, this will happen in late August, early September. They will receive their actual bill for their assessment that we review tonight or adopt tonight. And so when they receive that bill in the fall, they'll have 4 different options. Option number 1 is they could pay the full amount by October 31st, 2026 without interest. Option number 2 is they could pay at least 50% of the amount and the remainder would go on their taxes. When it goes on their taxes, it's spread out over 15 years at 5.357% interest. Option number 3 is they could do nothing when they receive that bill in the fall and the entire amount would automatically go on their taxes. Again, it would be spread out over 15 years at 5.357% interest. And then the fourth option, those options where it is spread out on their taxes. They would first see that on their taxes in 2027 during their first tax statement. And then the fourth option is if they meet certain age and income guidelines, they could have it deferred on their taxes until such time as the property sold or they chose to pay it off at some later date. But there are age and income requirements that go along with that. If someone wants more information about option number 4, they could reach out to us here at the city. We'd connect them with our finance department to go through the necessary and provide the necessary forms. So those are just some general statements that kind of apply to all of these items, these next few street project items that are on the agenda. So the first one, as you've mentioned there, Mayor, is 8th Street North, 8th Street Southeast. With this project, one unique part about the project is that we are replacing 100% of the sidewalk on this one. If you remember back a couple years ago, we developed a policy where if over 50% of the sidewalk was determined to be deficient, it would then trigger it to bump up to 100% of the sidewalk being removed. So on this project, homeowners could expect, there's always a range of assessments based on their amount of frontage. Our assessments are based on frontage length. So they vary a little bit, but many of the homes in these neighborhoods have the same amount of frontage. So they could expect on 8th Street Southeast a street assessment in the range of $6,000 to $7,000. And then when we add in the sidewalk, it would about double that. So folks that have no sidewalk in front of their house could see that $6,000 to $7,000 assessment. Folks with sidewalk would jump to about $10,000 to $12,000 for their assessments. With that, we've already done the presentation on this project at previous meetings, but I'll answer any questions that you or the public may have about those previous presentations. But now I turn it back to the council with any questions.
Thank you, Stephen. Council, any questions of Mr. Lang? Specific to item number 4, 8th Street. Is there anybody in the public wishing to speak on this matter? Stephen, anything further on that from you?
Nope.
Okay, looking for a motion, I guess, or a resolution declaring the cost for 4D.
First, before we go to that, just touching on item B, we have not received any written objections on this project.
Very good, thank you. Now looking for a resolution for 4D, declaring the cost.
So moved. Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 5 is also under public hearing, a public hearing on street improvements on 7th Ave Southwest, 24th Street Southwest to 8th Avenue Southwest, and then 8th Avenue Southwest from 27th Street Southwest to 7th Avenue Southwest, and 26th Street Southwest from 5th Avenue Southwest to 8th Avenue Southwest, project number 26101. The amount to be assessed is $130,000 at 5.357% for 15 years. Stephen?
Mayor King,
Oh, the second resolution E, sorry, I'll back up. Under 4E, resolution adopting the assessment rule, thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Very good. Now back to 5, public hearing on item number 5 on that street improvement I read. So, Stephen?
Yep, the area you described is located in the southwest. This is a mill and overlay project. So we have different assessment rates for a mill and overlay versus a full street reconstruction. And the lot frontages vary substantially in this neighborhood. So assessments for these folks range from $1,200 to $2,000, again, depending on frontage. So with that, again, we presented the presentation at a previous meeting, but I'd open it up for any questions.
Any written objections to this, Stephen?
We have not received any written objections.
Okay, council, any questions or comments on this project? Public, any of the public here wishing to speak on this matter, item number 5, this project? Hearing none, seeing none, looking for a resolution declaring the cost.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. And on to 5E, the resolution adopting assessment roll.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 6 is a public hearing on street improvements on 9th Ave Northwest from 11th Street Northwest to 14th Street Northwest, project number 26102. The amount to be assessed is $825,000 at 5.357% for 15 years. Stephen?
Yeah, this is another project where the sidewalk, the condition of the sidewalk was greater than 50%, so it triggered full removal. So again, a little bit of uniqueness on this project. So street assessments in this neighborhood, the portion of the street, range from $3,500 to $4,500. When you add in sidewalk for those residents, that was another $2,000 to $2,500. So the majority of the properties were in that range of $5,000 to $7,000 for their street assessments. I will jump ahead to note that we did receive one objection in this neighborhood, and I would like to go ahead and read that for the record. The objection was received from Jeremy Carolyn. It's regarding the property located at 1001 11th Street Northwest, Austin, Minnesota. The objection indicates I am submitting this letter as a formal objection to the special assessment for the work associated with the property at 1001 11th Street Northwest, Austin, Minnesota. I believe the assessment amount exceeds the benefit to the property and request that the city review and reconsider the amount being assessed. Please include this letter as my formal objection in the assessment record. So that has been filed accordingly with the city clerk. Just for council information, I mentioned the majority of the homes in this neighborhood have an assessment between $5,000 to $7,000. This property in question is a corner lot, so it has a larger street frontage, and therefore the street assessment is more, and also the sidewalk being replaced is more. So their assessment is just over $10,000. Our assistant engineer has had a few different conversations with the objector. Those conversations mainly focused on the sidewalk and whether we were taking out more or less. In the case of this property, there was 60% of the sidewalk was identified as non-compliant, so that it in itself was above our 50% threshold when you just looked at this property alone. So we feel it falls right in with our policy and wanted to make council aware of those conversations that have occurred.
And in situations like this, Stephen, the protocol that the staff recommends is to approve the project, and then the homeowner would have the right to file within district court there to get some resolution.
That is correct.
So council has the option to also cancel the project based on this, or do a carve out for this individual, or like Mr. Lang suggests is allow the homeowner to file in district court and have that day in court, and we move on with the rest of the project. So we're looking for, and that's the only written objection we had.
That is correct, unless there is anyone here
Anybody from the
tonight.
public wishing to speak on this project?
Hi,
Oh,
sorry.
please step to the microphone, please, and give us your name and address if you could.
Hi, sorry. This is my first time here. My name is Howlett. I am from 1403 9th Avenue Northwest. I didn't know I could do a written objection, but I would like to object to just the cost of living right now. It's high. I'm living paycheck to paycheck as paying student loans as well as going to school. Even though I work several hours a week, it's still not enough. My insurance went up, my car insurance went up. It's just been really hard for me to work, do pay to pay. Like I said, I've been living paycheck to paycheck. It's been really bad for me that I even go to eat to my mom's house because I cannot afford groceries. So adding this, I know it's not a lot, but adding this, I could potentially lose my house, or it's just what ifs. But yeah.
And your name again and address?
My name is Evelyn Lopez Gonzalez. My address is 1403 9th Avenue Northwest.
And you're the homeowner there, Evelyn?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate the situation you find yourself in, and can only say that you're not probably alone, but we do need to function as a city, and these projects do kind of impact the homeowners, certainly at a percentage a lot less than the city. It's what, about 25% of the property goes to the homeowner, and 65% goes to the city. Mr. Lang, you want to explain any more of that about written objection, though? She didn't file. Is there still time for her also to file and then go to district court?
I'll let Mr. Byram comment on that.
I guess maybe before we get to that, I guess I would put out a couple of things for you. One is, and I think Stephen and Mr. Byram can provide, there are options, because I think there's a realization that with assessments that not everybody has 6,000, 8,000, whatever the assessments are. It's a chunk of change to write a check for. And so there is flexibility and options in terms of, hey, putting it on future income taxes and things like that. I'll let somebody give you the actual technical pieces of it, but there is a scenario where you don't have to pay everything up front, because I think the reality is that most people in the community probably don't have the ability to do that. So we should probably make sure she understands that. And then two is just, I think from a broader view, I mean, assessments are tough. I know we've looked over the years at, is there a better way to do it? And I don't know that there is, because at some point the projects have to be paid for. And we've looked at, okay, if we got rid of street assessments in general, we would still have to pay for the projects. Everybody's property taxes on an every single year basis would go up, pretty dramatically, like millions and millions of dollars in totality. And so where I've always, I hate assessments. I hate when we get assessments on our house. What's at least made me feel a little bit better is there's a certain fairness to this is how we've done it for 70 plus years. And so it's like, it sucks for the one out of every, 50 years that the street gets worked on, if you happen to be owning a home on the street at that point. But there's at least a level of consistency to it. But I think understanding that there is a broad range of options with it, I think we should probably make sure that we're very clear on, here's the things that it doesn't require you to write a check tomorrow for the project. Stephen, you could probably better explain it than me.
I'll just touch on that quickly. So you're correct. There are payment options, and we spread this cost out over 15 years on one's taxes, so they would pay a portion of that assessment each year as those taxes come due.
Yep.
Which would be added to the mortgage.
It'd be added to your taxes, which would be added onto your mortgage, yes. Thank you, but if, I think it's the written portion has been expired, so you couldn't do a written assessment, but I think as Councilmember Baskin, eloquently said, there's less pain if you do pay for it over 15 years. You might not even notice it, but you'll certainly notice your brand new street in front of your house.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Evelyn. Anybody else wishing to speak on this project? All right, and with noting the written objection, council looking for a resolution declaring the cost.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly.
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Waller.
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you. And 6E, resolution adopting the assessment roll.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly.
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Waller.
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 7 is a public hearing on street improvements on 5th Street Northwest from 12th Ave Northwest to 15th Ave Northwest, and 7th Street Northwest from 13th Ave Northwest to 15th Avenue Northwest. Project number 26103, the amount to be assessed is $1,100,000 at 5.357%, 15 years. Mr. Lang.
On this project, the street portion of the assessments to property owners range from $3,000 to $6,500. If one has sidewalk as part of the project, it could be up to $8,500. So that is kind of the range for street assessments. But again, sidewalk on this project does not reach the 50% threshold, so we're only taking out the bad sidewalk based on the project. We did not receive any written objections to date on this project.
Very good, thank you. Any public wishing to speak on this project? Council, any questions or comments on the project? Looking for a resolution 7D declaring the cost.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. 7E is resolution adopting the assessment roll. Need a resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you. The last of the street improvements is item number 8, public hearing on street improvements on 14th Street Northwest from 8th Ave Northwest to 15th Avenue Northwest, project 26104. The amount to be assessed is $300,000 at 5.357% for 15 years. Stephen?
This again is a mill and overlay project, so our rates for those are substantially less than our street reconstruction. But in this case, this is a unique project where we have two very large frontages with property owners there with the apartments and also the college. So they take up a majority of the assessments on this project. The apartment assessments are $37,000 range, and the college assessment is $27,000. And the difference between those two, again, is sidewalk. There is a larger majority of sidewalk to be removed on the apartment side. That is why their assessment is approximately $10,000 more. So with that, we have not received any written objections on this project, and I'd open it up to any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. Council, any questions? Public, anybody wishing to speak on item number 8? Hearing none, seeing none, looking for a resolution declaring the cost. 8D.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. And 8E, resolution adopting the assessment roll.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. On to pickleball. Under bid opening and award, item number 9 is receiving bids for pickleball courts. Jason?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. At the March 2nd City Council work session, staff presented information regarding the February 24th public bid opening for the construction of pickleball courts at Rotary Centennial Park. After discussion, Council asked staff to present the bid award at tonight's meeting to include the construction of 8 courts and to also consider potential cost savings by removing certain court amenities if necessary. Council also requested staff seek a recommendation from the Park, Recreation, and Forestry Board. Quick overview. Staff feels it's important to point out that there are cost savings associated with including the construction of the ADA accessible sidewalk within the scope of the project scheduled for this summer. Other court amenities such as shade, benches and tables, drinking fountains, and lighting could be considered phase 2 of the project and can be completed as funding is secured or out in 2027. There is a detailed breakdown of court-related expenses provided in your council packet. The revised budget I wanted to share with you that the Austin, Minnesota Area Pickleball Association, since the last meeting, they met with their board, and they have approved an additional $10,000 in cash contribution to the project for a total of $110,000. So the project funding, the revised funding available is City of Austin from the Building Fund, $150,000, grant from the Hormel Foundation, $250,000, and Austin, Minnesota Area Pickleball Association, $110,000, for a total project cost of $510,000. So the Park, Recreation, and Forestry Board met, and the board voted unanimously to recommend to City Council to award the bid for the construction of 8 courts and consider postponing other amenities as necessary to ensure the completion of the project. There was further discussion at the Park Board and feedback that asked staff to explore reallocating existing funds from the 2026 Capital Improvement Plan budget to support other court-related amenities to ensure project completion. So staff would like to propose using the following funding sources to cover the additional $80,000. So the ADA walkways, the walkway, right now we have in the capital improvement plan for 2026 approved budget. We would like to reallocate those funds for the install of the West ADA sidewalk for $15,866. One of the reasons I mentioned earlier, there's cost savings associated with doing this now because the contractor is going to have the right equipment there, and there is the grading is it's important to know that the grading is I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but there's a elevation from the courts to the restroom, so we have to be careful with the grading. There's going to be some fill dirt in and then some cut at the court side, so we feel like there's substantial cost savings to the city to do that along with the project. The other one is the current capital improvement plan has a miscellaneous roads and trails fund. A portion of that fund we would like to reallocate to the parking lot materials for the court for $15,000. The other is playground improvements. A portion of that fund, $19,134, staff proposes reallocating towards the pickleball courts. And then staff is also proposing to utilize city building fund in the amount of $30,000 to finalize the project costs. So I've included in your packet a contractor recommendation letter from Larson Engineering. The bid tabulation results are also there. The court design and a court layout of an aerial view is also in there. I propose the recommendations in three options here, or 3 steps, I should say. Number 1, staff recommends the bid be awarded to low bidder Yulin Brothers, Inc. for the total contract amount of $507,555. The breakdown is included in your packet. Number 2, staff recommends City Council approve a budget amendment in the amount of $30,000 from the building fund to fund project-related expenses. And lastly, number 3, staff recommends City Council approve reallocation of 2026 budgeted capital improvement plan funds in the amount of $50,000 to cover the remaining project-related expenses. And I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Jason. Council, any questions?
No question, but I mean, just a comment that I think this is a really good example of local government in action and working really, really well. You know, you think about, passionate group of residents, a couple years ago who wanted to see a change in their community, come together, make their voice heard, build awareness and support of why it was important. That then translates into, okay, let's as a local government figure out options for how we support that. And I think it's been a great partnership of not just a voice of, hey, we want to do this, but it's here's our financial, here's our time, blood, sweat, and energy in order to make it happen. The city overall taxpayers that will benefit, the generous support of the Hormel Foundation, this partnership to do something that is truly going to improve our community. And then even, when we get to kind of the final stages here, and we've got to figure it out, I think a really nice job, Jason, you and the park board, of saying, all right, like, we've got a budget, but let's figure out how we shift some things and prioritize so that we can do it right. So I'm incredibly excited to vote in favor of this. I'm really excited to see these things in action. Thank you, everybody, for your passion, for your patience, and I think that this is a classic example of how we should do things as a community, and would love to see even more moving forward. So thank you. Good work.
So I have a question, Mr. Sehan. If we approve the 3 steps that you're outlining today, and then the pickleball club continues on their streak of incredible fundraising and bring forward more funds, or if some other grant funds come into the project, are we committed to this, or is this like sort of a worst-case scenario? The city funds are gonna plug these holes, and if other funds come forward, then, like, for instance, the 30,000 coming from the building fund, could that get shifted back in if more funds are raised?
So I guess one way to answer that question is we did build in a small contingency, just short of $10,000. And then there are a few of the other items, the construction inspection and the construction testing. We are working with the engineering firm to entertain a different contract with a different firm, which would reduce the costs. We just need to make sure that they are responsive and capable. So there are, I suppose, at the end of the project, there could be some funding left that could be a reduced amount pulled from the building fund. I think we should move forward assuming that those other capital improvement plan allocations are gone and for this project. And I would recommend the AMAPA, the local pickleball club. I mean, talk about a local group doing such a fantastic job in their fundraising efforts. And they're still going full steam. My recommendation is to try to utilize those funds for the shade, for the hydration station, for the benches, for things like that. And then use the other for the actual court amenities, which sort of was, I think, the direction of council at the work session as well.
So we're gonna use the city money to build the 8 courts to a high level of quality and a couple of other really important things. And then if there are additional funds, they'll go into the nicer to haves.
Yes,
Aisle.
correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And Jason, all things go perfectly, whether pickleballers are going to be pickleballing this summer, fall yet, or no?
I'd like to see you all out there on the courts, hopefully by end of September, I think is what the timeline is, depending on what type of summer we have, so.
Thank you.
They're marking their calendars.
It was a little hard after the snow to imagine.
All right, well, thank you, Jason, and thanks to the pickleball, continue to raise that money. And as Councilmember Baskin said, we do appreciate the Hormel Foundation's grant. So with that, looking for resolution for item number 9, awarding the bid.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly.
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Waller.
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 10 is something we've spoken about a few meetings ago. Request approval for the SEMPA ordinance. Tom, you have anything else to add?
Nothing more.
Council, any other questions? Otherwise, looking for a motion. 10A, preparation of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And 10B for the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly.
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Waller.
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 11 is requesting approval for an amendment to the Sidewalk Cafe ordinance. Bree?
The clerk's office just did updating to our city code 6.59. We clarified the types of license holders that would be eligible for a sidewalk cafe license. It's because the city no longer issues food licenses, so this section will be removed. And then we added additional language to include micro distilleries. So we're requesting approval of the amendment to this ordinance.
Thank you, Bree. Council, any questions on this matter?
No, I think great update, modernizing it. Good work.
Thank you. Looking for a motion for 11A, preparation of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 11B for the, need an ordinance for the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 12 is is requesting approval for an amendment to the ordinance on standards for regulations relating to sewer use and service charges. Stephen?
Yes, this has to do with our ordinance related to fines, and our current language says up to $1,000. And in order to meet MPCA requirements, they recommend that it say a minimum of $1,000. So just a minor word change there, changing 1,000 from a maximum to now a minimum. We'd request approval.
Stephen, on this one, and apologize about not asking earlier, is this something, do we issue a lot of these fines? Like, do we see this as substantially increasing the amount of money that we're bringing in from people in the community, or is it more of a technical update?
More technical.
Okay. Do we issue a lot of these fines?
In the past, we have not, no.
Okay.
This is language that has been in our ordinance for decades, and it's just a matter of getting it up to date with the current requirements, and no, it is not something that has been strongly utilized in the past.
Okay. $1,000 doesn't go quite as far as in 1975. So, okay. Good.
All right, very good. Anything further from Mr. Lang on this matter? Looking for a motion for the preparation of the ordinance.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. And 12B, the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 5-0.
Thank you. Having removed item number 13, we're on to 14. Is a resolution approving a joint resolution for annexation of a property owned by Jerry Furstenberg into the city of Austin from Austin Township. Holly?
We received a petition for annexation from Mr. Furstenberg on behalf of his business, CCI Granite. The property is located at 1407 10th Drive Southeast. The property is about 1.1 acres in Austin Township. The petitioner wishes to expand his existing business and therefore requires a city sewer connection. A couple of the high points, the taxes will be staggered until fully transferred to the city after 6 years. The area proposed to be annexed would be zoned I-1 light industrial. This zoning designation is consistent with the current use of the property, surrounding area, and future development. Once annexed to the city, the sewer connection fees shall be paid by the petitioners. I will be heading over to Austin Township for them to review the same resolution. Once both jurisdictions approve the resolution, I'll put together a packet for the state municipal boundary adjustment. If the resolution is satisfactory, it will be approved by a municipal law judge, and at that time, the property would be annexed officially into the city. Mr. Furstenberg is here if the council has any questions for him.
Very good. All right. Council, any questions on this matter? I'd just like to say it's very heartening to see a local business owner expand his business, doubling its size. Jerry, congratulations on the business doing well, and we appreciate your investment to Austin and continue. Hope you have a very excellent build, and welcome to the city as far as sewer and maybe water. Sewer for sure. Water's a question mark, right? Okay. Anybody else have anything on this joint resolution?
Move to approve.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Very good. Thank you, Bree. Item number 15 is a resolution approving a budget adjustment to the general fund for 2026. Craig?
Thank you, Mayor, members. Annually, we bring forward budget adjustments that are carry forwards. We've listed those for you this evening. We asked your approval to approve the budget adjustments from 2025 carrying them forward to 2026 budget. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Craig. Council, any questions? Looking for resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Bree?
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. And seeing we removed item number 16 on to 17, is a motion approving a revised earned sick and safe time leave policy. Trish?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Before you tonight is a proposed revision to our earned sick and safe policy. The items to be updated include a combination of things required by statute that they've been approved in 2025 that just needed to have our policy tweaked a little bit. And then some other items specific to the City of Austin are increasing the insurance deductible ability to cash out sick leave for that, increased that to $1,000 annually. Maximum accrual amounts for employees hired on or after January 1, 2026, and a change to a payout upon retirement. And it's staggered for the date of hire for employees. We've also discussed these revisions to the policy as part of our labor negotiations. The policy before you tonight would be retroactive to January 1, 2026, and would be mainly for the non-union, non-bargaining unit employees that would be covered under that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Trish. Council, any questions? Ms. Weichman? And looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 18 is approving the hire of a temporary full-time firefighter. Chief McCoy.
Mayor, Council, before you tonight's ask to hire a temporary full-time firefighter. Since last fall, we've been operating one member short, and in January, we lost a second member that's out for medical. Our 7 of the 9 personnel have been moving around shifts and working overtime to cover those 2 positions that aren't on shift currently. So if we were able to hire a temporary part-time or full-time firefighter from our part-time ranks to help fill one of those 2 positions, it would alleviate some of that overtime and the stress being put on the firefighters moving shifts and doing that overtime. We did meet with the commission on March 6th. They did approve it, and now we're asking for the council to approve it.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Council, any questions on this matter?
No, I mean, I think this is obviously our firefighters do incredible work for the community, and I mean, it's a stressful enough job anyway. I think if we can relieve some of the burden in this direction, it's a good way, so I'm very supportive of it.
Thank you.
That sounds like a motion.
Yes, I would move to approve. There we go.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. On to item number 19 is approving an off-sale liquor license transfer to Austin South Highway Liquor LLC. Bree.
So we had a request for a liquor license transfer. This was previously held by Austin Highway Liquor LLC. We've received all the certified documents that are required for the license transfer, so we are just recommending approval.
Very good. Council, any questions on item number 19?
Move to approve.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Councilmember Waller,
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you, Bree. Item number 20 is accepting donations of the city of Austin and its resolution. The 3 gifts are a $200 gift from the Austin Part-Time Firefighter Relief Association for weight room, and $1,572.40 from Belita Schindler for benches, and $1,500 from the Austin Eagles Club for the Nature Center cameras. We thank all those people and entities to help support our causes. Looking for a resolution approving those donations.
So moved.
Second.
Bree.
Councilmember Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Waller.
Aye.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 21 is a motion granting the Planning and Zoning Department the power to contract for removal of junk and/or illegally stored vehicles at the following locations. 21A, the address 703 5th Street Northwest and 703 5th Street. Oh, that's the name of the LLC. Then not a name, it's 703 5th Street LLC property. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 21B, the address is 1005 8th Street Northwest, the Fink property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 21C, the address 1306 11th Street Northwest, the Hastings property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 21D, address 707 6th Ave Southwest, the Batakari property. Need a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 21E, the address 1112 First Ave Northwest, the Dornick property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to citizens addressing the council. Any citizens in the chambers wishing to speak with council at items that weren't on the agenda? Oh, Bob, welcome.
Bob Rizal, representing the Austin, Minnesota Area Pickleball Association. On behalf of the association, we just want to thank you all. Your cooperation, your guidance, your help in getting this through has not gone unnoticed by many of the people who play pickleball in Austin and even the surrounding area. I want to make a special thank you to Jason and to the Austin Park and Recreation Board. You've been great. And I also want to ask Jason Baskin, did you try the pickleball pasta?
If I had room in my suitcase, I would have brought some
Okay,
back
well,
for
you
you.
know, I've always
Looks like
wondered-
regular pasta.
I've wondered what they do with those old used balls. Maybe that's it. Anyway,
Now I'm glad I didn't.
thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob, for all your efforts and your association's efforts. And this is something, the city of Austin has certainly a lot of needs in all departments, and particularly Park and Rec. This is an amenity that the city of Austin doesn't have presently, so to add that on, it's a big deal. I know it's taken over the world, so we're happy to get 8 courts for you here very soon, hopefully by September, October. Thank you. Craig, anything?
Yes, Mayor, members, I want to thank Senator Dornick. He helped get a hearing for us on Senate File 3689 that provides $28.4 million for a public safety building that would be provided through the extension of our local option sales tax. This building would provide a new home for Austin Police Department. So appreciate having that hearing in the Senate Tax Committee. Senator Chair and Senator Rest was very complimentary of Austin and well received, and the bill was laid over for possible inclusion in the tax bill, so that's probably as best as we could hope for given the process in St. Paul. Other than that, Mr. Lang has an item of note.
Stephen?
Just like to touch quickly on our snow removal efforts over the last couple days. First, I'd like to thank our street department folks, as well as our sewer department and Park and Rec. Everyone teamed up together to work on this over the last couple days. And we, as you know, we did put a snow emergency into effect due to the volume of snow that was anticipated. That will continue to be effective through 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Crews have worked Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. working during the storm. This morning they were in at 1 a.m. starting to do downtown pickup and windrowing of snow, also back in residential areas, plowing the legal side for plowing throughout the day today, sanding those slippery areas that were too many to count, maybe the whole city. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be having another early start. We'll be starting at 4 a.m. We'll finish picking up the windrows in the downtown area that we didn't finish today, and we'll get back into those, sanding our mains and secondaries and working in residentials, cleaning up throughout the day on Tuesday. In the office, we've fielded anywhere from 12 to 15 calls on the event, and so I think that's more than we fielded in the past, but yet for a large event like this that impacts 27,000 people, to get 12 to 15 calls is very manageable. And of those calls, it was a wide variety of things, from you know, the plow just filled in my driveway, to intersections that are getting piled a little bit too high, having some difficulty seeing, to just general slippery roads and conditions of things with alleys and everything that we have throughout the community. So overall, like to, again, say thanks to our crews that were out there doing that work, long hours, coming in early and all of that. That's appreciated. So that's just a quick update on the snow event and where we're at with our snow emergency.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank the crews for us, for sure.
Thank you.
Council, Paul, anything?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Laura?
I would echo my thanks to all the city employees who do extra when we have a big snow emergency. And that includes, of course, our law enforcement and firefighters. Emergencies still happen even when conditions are terrible. So thank you also to residents who did in fact just stay home and make everything easier. I also want to say I saw a lot of Facebook communications, both from law enforcement and from regarding the snow emergency. So I feel like we're doing a good job of trying to get the message out. I know in addition to Facebook, it's going out to the major media channels and so forth. So I appreciate that. I also want to mention that on Saturday, right before everything went crazy, the library held a Comic-Con, and my family was able to go, and my 8-year-old has not stopped talking about it. So great event, not surprised, but just want to call out how well the library does with programming for our community. So great job, Julie.
Thank you, Laura. Jeff?
Yeah, just want to echo my thanks to city staff, everyone involved in the snow cleanup. Big blizzard over the weekend, so they did a great job so far. So thank you, Stephen, and everyone involved.
Thank you, Jeff. Jason?
Yeah, I would echo the thanks, and I think it's been very well said already. You know, I know that, you know, it's easy as a resident to sit there and go, is my street plowed? That's kind of a core expectation, right? But it's for the person who gets up at 12:45 in the morning and is exhausted all weekend, for the, you know, people that are, you know, doing extra, that are, you know, moving around, family activities and things like that. It's a lot more than just hey, I'm going to show up and turn the plow on, or, you know, do my job and, you know, make sure we can get emergency vehicles around. And so know that we very much appreciate it, and I know that our residents do as well. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Jason. Becky?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Very good. The only thing I'd like to add is we, in the consent agenda, approved Pam Grubb's appointment to the Culture and Arts Commission. And just, you know, hate to let these things kind of go by as just as a consent. There's a lot of folks that serve on commissions and boards that need recognitions, and we have a lot. We do have a lot. We ask a lot of our citizens to step up and volunteer. Had the opportunity to sit with the Fire Civil Service last week to approve that temporary position. Also, the Police Civil Service has been very, very busy with hires. But these are citizens that sit in these boards, and they're very thoughtful. And in fact, I can now say that one of our Police Civil Service Commission will have to resign because she was appointed a judge in district court over in Freeborn. So that's the kind of folks that serve on our commissions, is very thoughtful people that really weed through and get all the details. So I appreciate all those folks and welcome Pam Grubbs to the Culture and Arts Commission. With that, looking for a motion to adjourn to April 6, 2026.
Can I see?
Citizens addressing the council.
Oh, we had that.
Didn't offer it up after the other gentleman spoke. Scott Soderberg, 2408 16th Avenue Southwest. Want to address when last meeting I was here and we kind of had not really, we had a discussion, but we did afterwards about taxes in Austin and how I said it's an older community, and Councilman Helly said, well, you know, our studies show or whatever that we have a younger community. And I agreed that that's a great thing, that we do have a younger community in Austin. And I guess I misspoke in trying to make it sound like we've got all these retirees here and nobody else. What I was trying to get across is that it's great to have the younger people, but a majority of the people in Austin are older and nearing retirement or in retirement. They own homes, they own businesses, some of them. Where the younger people, there's not those kind of jobs that allow them to buy a home, to become, you know, a taxpayer, add to the tax dollars that the city can get. Therefore, I think that we're falling a little short on how we can get more people to be able to own their homes and stay in their homes as long as they could. So, and my explanation there was that our taxes continue to rise. And for a lot of these people that are either nearing retirement or retired are going to be kind of on a fixed income. Therefore, as the taxes continue to increase, the way they have been, as I stated last time, it was like on average every 10 years, your taxes are going to double. And if you look at somebody that's nearing retirement or retired, in those 10-year period, when they're on a fixed income, how are they going to be able to absorb that and stay in their homes? So that's my concern when I talk about our tax dollars and how they're being spent. Because everybody, you hear this all the time when you're growing up, live within your means. And I know you guys have to struggle with a lot of issues of where do monies go, how do we get the monies to pay for these things. My biggest concern with what's happened with our city is that tax dollars have been spent on properties, some which are nonprofit properties which we purchased. And we pay to buy them, we pay to level the properties in some instances, or we take properties off the tax rolls that were given to a nonprofit. So it doesn't return any money into the tax base. And it's like, what is the return on the investment? I mean, we can, the church on 4th Street, $275,000. I don't know what it costs to level that property, and there it sits, a property with no tax being collected on it. We had the Plunkett property given to KSMQ. We tore it down, allowed them to build on it. Supposed to be part of the revitalization of downtown Austin. I don't know what it really revitalized. It's a nice building, but there's no tax dollars there either because they're a nonprofit. And then we had another nonprofit take over the TV6 property, which the city bought, which was being taxed, and it's given to SEMCAC to build on there. Then we have the Salvation Army. No taxes on that, of course, because it's a nonprofit, and there that building sits. And then we had the Herald property purchased, tore down at the city's expense too. Nothing there. Tax dollars gone that was being paid on the building that exists. And then we had the, going back away, the Sinclair station down there on Oakland Avenue, purchased, tore down, no tax dollars coming back into the city coffers. But we're spending all these dollars, and I'm wondering where's the return on the investment of those dollars? And you say, well, we're taking them out of the floodplain, and I understand that issue to a degree. Now, the recent thing is that El Paral came up and Stuttgart Tan and Travel be purchased. Now, city can get money from the DNR to help in this flood mitigation, and we're taking these tax dollars of going to be over $500,000, and we're going to tear down 2 buildings, which are owned, which do pay flood insurance, and taking them off the tax rolls to have what? They're torn down. There's no return on that investment to me. And how long before we turn around and tear down the arena? It's in the floodplain. I have to say, Lauren Helly had commented just because they're old doesn't mean they're historical. I got to look back on the Terp when it was the Terp. My parents were from St. Paul, Minneapolis. They came to Austin for a New Year's dance. That's where they met. And they came here to live in Austin. For most of their life, we have lived in Austin. So people have different connections to these that mean a lot. I mean, going back to, just the people that have been in Austin. We've done some things of taking care of what I call historic. We've got the Hormel home, beautiful property. It adds its history to Austin. Got the Paramount Theater, adds history to Austin. And they're not on the National Register of Historic Places that I'm aware of. Maybe the Hormel home might be, but the Paramount isn't. And then down at Skinner's Hill, floodplain. We've got the band shell, done a wonderful job taking care of that and preserving that. And the historic history about that is of the people that have been in Austin and have, performed there. Abbott and Costello performed them. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Philip Sousa performed there. Okay, to me, that's some history. And then you look at El Corral, Johnny Cash, the Beach Boys, things like that, performers that have played there that are iconic. And not to mention wedding receptions. My sister had their wedding reception there. Other events that were done by El Corral, brought in Mexican entertainers for our Spanish community, which was always loaded down there. Instead of tearing these things down, I wish that we had a way to preserve them and add to them to bring more people to town in that regard. They are paying, like I said, the taxes on them, they're paying flood insurance, and the city wants to go in and spend, over $500,000 to take them out for what? When Holiday Dodge went out, that whole area had to be cleaned up. Now, I hate to say it, but you look at it, it looks like crap with all the weeds and stuff growing up, and it's supposed to be wildlife or something there. It doesn't look very appealing. If you drove into town and saw that, it doesn't look very appealing to people. I mean, even the arena, you can say that's a historic place because, when I was growing up, just name quite a few. Saw Blue Oyster Cult there, Black Oak, Arkansas, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Foreigner, Nick Gilder, Ted Nugent, Eddie Money. Rush and the Doobie Brothers are going to play there, but the Doobie Brothers, if you didn't know, got flooded out one year, speaking of floods. So they had, and this was on their final tour, like they always do. So they had one more open date the next weekend, and they rescheduled it. What happened? We got flooded out again. So I understand those concerns of the flood issues, but I want to know, what are the return on the investments that we get from buying these properties, taking them off the tax roll? Where do those tax dollars come from then? Is it coming from the remainder of the people in Austin? Because, we spent those tax dollars, and what are we getting for them? We're getting higher taxes because you need more money because you've spent that money acquiring properties that nothing's been done to build on them or whatever to bring in a tax base. And that's my concern about how our taxes continue to go up. I know there's certain things in Austin we need to pay taxes for, all about that. But when I feel that some tax dollars are being spent to acquire properties that don't generate any more tax dollars, that's my concern there. And, I don't mean to be down here always complaining about this part, but I don't have an explanation that makes me feel good about it. And a lot of other people mention this to me, and I'm really disappointed in some of our city residents that complain to me. I was on the radio for 30 years, so they think I've got some pull to do whatever. And I said, no, you got to be part of the process and come down and let you people know what they feel. But to get them to show up sometimes is really, I said, you don't have to speak. Just show up that you're there and, be a part of the process in that sense. Because, like I said, we've lost a lot of information. Television being gone. Eric's here from the paper. It's good to see that still surviving. A radio station that I worked at for 30 years of my life. My parents were there for 50 years. And they have no staff. Nobody covers you. We have no real understanding of what's going on until maybe it's already done, and then the television station will put something on. Eric does a great job giving as much information as he can, but I just feel we're underserviced in that regards to know what's going on, or let everybody within the city know. And I know we've discussed this about how to get that information more out to the public so they're more informed. And I guess that's all I have to say right now, and I hope when I come here, I'm not sounding like I'm a crazy person always complaining.
Thank you, Mr. Herbert. Appreciate your comments. Thank you. Looking for a motion to adjourn to April 6, 2026. Stephen
wants to address.
Forgive me if I'm overstepping, but on item number 9, council awarded the bid for the pickleball courts, but there were 2 other items there that Mr. Sehan was asking for regarding budget changes to actually fund that.
I assume the motion included those?
I assumed it included them as well. I'd be happy to vote on them separately if we need to.
May have missed that. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm good with all 3 of them.
Yeah, I think we voted it assuming that.
Thank you.
How the motion was worded, or who made it. I thought it was you, Jason, but.
Agree, who did make the motion?
Jason did. I think it was Jason.
Yeah, then I would be happy to be clear that I made the motion encompassing all the requested changes.
Who's included?
Ellie Waller?
Helly Waller. Councilmember Helly and seconded by Councilmember Waller.
Sure is, Laura.
Okay, Laura, were you including all three options?
Yes.
Okay.
To clarify the motion that we already voted on and approved, it not only awards the bid, but also makes a budget adjustment and a capital improvement plan adjustment, as noted in the agenda.
Agreed.
Clarity enough, Stephen? Good. Okay.
Hey, better
Thank
to
you,
do it
Steve.
now than having to get back
I
to
kind of wondered that too.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think it's clarity enough, Mr. Byram, you feel, okay. And we
for-
don't need to vote again.
Looking for a motion to adjourn to Monday, April 6th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Took a 5-minute break to the work session.